More backlash today for Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis after their video explaining why they wrote letters of support for convicted Danny Masterson.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
Christina Ricci has revealed why Ashton Kutcher should rot in jail, and the footage backing her up is disturbing. This is about Ashton's own actions, his strange friendships, and what one of Danny Masterson's victims just accused him of.
Kutcher told the jury when he eventually learned that Ashley had been murdered, he, quote, freaked out, knowing his fingerprints were on her door.
Ricci didn't name names, but her words hit hard. She spoke about P-daters being seen as awesome guys and warned that defending them is a crime. That statement resurfaced alongside old clips of Ashton, laughing, partying, and getting cozy in circles that included Diddy.
Our relationship was really bizarre. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together. And he came over, and I was like, I'm going for a run. He was like, oh, I'll go for a run with you.
This isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. And if Christina Ricci's warning is based on what we think it is, Ashton Kutcher has a lot more to answer for than people realize. One of Ashton's closest friends, Sean Diddy Combs, has gone by many names over the years. He started back in the 90s in NYC as P. Diddy, then became Puffy, and later just Love. He kicked off Bad Boy Records in '93, which grew into Bad Boy Entertainment, one of the biggest names in the music industry. And he didn't just bring any old artist along. He signed the Notorious B.I.G., aka Christopher Wallace, who was raking in millions for Bad Boy Entertainment at one point.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died.
But here's the thing. Combs wasn't just making headlines because of his music. Oh no, he was all over the place. Fashion, TV shows, you name it. And this is where things get interesting. Combs found himself rubbing elbows with another A-lister, Ashton Kutcher. Yep, that's right. Diddy and Ashton were tight.
Our relationship was really bizarre. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together. And he came over, and I was like, I'm going for a run. He was like, oh, I'll go for a run with you.
So how did these two link up? It all started with Punk'd. You remember that prank show on MTV, right? But Combs didn't stop there. He also produced a bunch of seasons of Making the Band on MTV, where wannabe stars competed to make it big. And during all of this, Ashton and Diddy were often spotted together. At events, parties, you name it. Ashton was a regular at Diddy's famous Labor Day white party back in 2010. You know, those bougie events where everyone wears white and things probably get wild behind the scenes. Here's a fun tidbit. When Time magazine named Ashton one of the 100 most influential people that year, Diddy gushed over him saying, Ashton Kutcher is a sounding board for me. Like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we're like yin and yang. I'm in your face and he's all cool and suave. Cute, right? Fast forward to 2019 and Ashton's on Hot Ones, getting grilled by Sean Evans while eating spicy wings. Of course, the topic of Diddy's legendary parties came up, and let's just say Ashton had a lot of stories he couldn't tell.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
With Diddy facing charges that include everything from ST-ficking to racketeering, people are now wondering if Ashton Kutcher knew more than he's letting on. In any case, Ashton Kutcher is definitely not the innocent party in all of this. In 2023, the polished public image of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis took a sharp nosedive. It wasn't just another tabloid rumor or internet drama. It was a full-blown reckoning. And it started with one of their oldest friends, Danny Masterson. The same Danny Masterson who was convicted of multiple counts of SA. The same man they stood behind publicly. But what really blew things up were these clips.
She's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18.
Apparently, the Kutchers faced backlash, which stemmed from them backing Danny Masterson, who has already faced legal consequences due to allegations of SA.
Danny Masterson has just been sentenced to 30 years to life in prison and has been ordered to register as a sex offender. A jury convicted the actor on 2 counts back in May.
The backlash was swift, and it wasn't limited to strangers on the internet. It came from inside Hollywood itself. One of the first people to publicly take a stand was Christina Ricci. In a pointed series of Instagram stories, Ricci didn't name names, but everyone knew who she was referring to. The context was too clear. She wrote, "Unfortunately, I've known lots of awesome guys who were lovely to me, who have been proven to be abusers privately. I've also had personal experience with this. Believe victims. It's not easy to come forward. It's not easy to get a conviction." In a separate slide, she continued, "So sometimes people we have loved and admired do horrible things. They might not do these things to us, and we only know who they were to us, but that doesn't mean they didn't do the horrible things, and to discredit the abused is a crime. People we know as awesome guys can be predators and abusers. It's tough to accept, but we have to. If we say support victims, women, children, men, boys, then we must be able to take this stance," the note concluded. Her words landed like a punch. Ricci didn't hold back, and fans applauded her courage for saying what many were thinking. For years, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis had been viewed as Hollywood's golden couple, quirky, charming, and down-to-earth. But this scandal shattered that image. It forced people to take a closer look at who they really were and what they were willing to defend. To understand just how serious this was, you have to look at the timeline. In May 2023, Danny Masterson was convicted of raping 2 women in the early 2000s. Despite that conviction, Ashton and Mila submitted glowing letters of support for him between July and August of the same year. These weren't casual notes. They were sent directly to Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Charlene Olmedo as part of a sentencing request. In his letter, Kutcher referred to his co-star as a role model with exceptional character and explained that Masterson was the reason Kutcher didn't fall into drugs. Anytime that we were to meet someone or interact with someone who was on drugs or did drugs, he made it clear that that wouldn't be a good person to be friends with, the Your Place or Mine star wrote. Kunis wrote in her letter that Masterson had been an exceptional older brother figure to her. She also touted his avoidance of drugs, which inspired her to stay away from substances. Danny's steadfastness in promoting a drug-free lifestyle has been a guiding light in my journey through the entertainment world and has helped me prioritize my well-being and focus on making responsible choices, the Friends with Benefits actress added. The married duo decided to address the brewing storm with a joint video apology that hit the internet on a sultry Saturday afternoon. In their confession, they spilled the beans about how the Mastersons family had asked them to vouch for their 25-year acquaintance. They said,
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration.
Kutcher then added, they were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that, and we're sorry if that has taken place. Critics were quick to take to X to unleash their dismay over the lawyered apology. Journalist Yashar Ali wrote on the site, "It's important to note that the letters weren't just character letters you'd write for a friend. The letters, which contained a great deal of Scientological phrasing, were intended to undermine the victims who were drugged by Danny." Another person referred to the apology as, "More like, sorry public, we did not know that our letter would be read publicly. We still want to support our horrible friend in court. They are not sorry." At the same time, fans called out the irony of Kutcher's defense while running a charity that fights child SA.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
Kutcher co-founded Thorn with his ex-wife, Demi Moore. The organization partners with tech companies, NGOs, and law enforcement to fight illegal human trading of young ones in the digital age. One fan commented on this saying, "I hope no one forgot Ashton Kutcher is a co-founder of Thorn. Interesting that a man who claims to advocate for SA also defended a man who is accused of such a thing." Meanwhile, after all this backlash, Christina re-emerged on Instagram stories to clarify that she wasn't referring specifically to the Kutchers, although she admitted that recent events have made her think more about this. "What I wrote wasn't meant to seem so pointed," she began in the post to her millions of followers. "It's just something I've been thinking about generally. as different individuals' wrongdoings have come to light over the past couple of years, and I too have found it difficult to reconcile the person or people I knew with the things they've done. She finished. But yes, recent events have made me think more about this. In any case, Christina's choice of words in labeling the act of people discrediting victims, in this case Ashton and Mila, as a crime has raised some eyebrows. Some fans believe that there could be more to this story, and that Christina could be hinting that these two celebrities should also be considered criminals for siding with Masterson. Meanwhile, a recent source even revealed that Ashton's biggest fear right now is Diddy turning on him, exposing secrets from Hollywood's inner circle in a desperate bid to clear his name. Ashton absolutely regrets his friendship with Diddy considering what has happened. An insider told Daily Mail. He feels lied to, betrayed, taken for granted, and manipulated. The source continued. He feels the same way about Danny Masterson. He now trusts no one except for his wife, Mila Kunis. He is going to keep his circle to his family. But here's where things get more interesting. Apparently, fans received word that Ashton isn't exactly as innocent as he would like us to believe. One of Danny Masterson's accusers was taking Ashton Kutcher to the woodshed after his in-court support of his old pal, and doing it by resurfacing old footage that hasn't aged well. Chrissy Bixler, who dated Danny back in the day, but who has since come forward as one of several women to claim he SA'd her, took to Instagram in 2023 to call out Ashton. In response to the letters, Chrissy posted on Instagram, "Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone that night you called Danny on February 21st, 2001. I hear everything. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor," she said. The date Chrissy was referencing is the night Ashton's then-girlfriend, Ashley Ellerin, was unalived in her Hollywood Hills apartment. For context, in the early hours of February 22, 2001, the brutal unalivement of 22-year-old Ashley Ellerin shocked Hollywood. A vibrant fashion student with her whole life ahead of her, Ashley was found dead in her Hollywood home, stabbed 47 times. She had been preparing for a date with none other than that 70s show star Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher, the rising Hollywood heartthrob at the time, was scheduled to pick up Ashley for a night out. When he arrived, however, the lights were on, but the door was locked. Peering through the window, Ashton saw what he thought was spilled red wine on the floor. Unbeknownst to him, Ashley's lifeless body was just inside. Kutcher, assuming she had left with someone else, simply left the scene, later calling the incident a misunderstanding.
Mr. Kutcher looked in the window and saw what he thought was spilled wine on the floor. We believe now the evidence will show that was actually blood.
The next morning, Ashley's roommate made the horrific discovery. The scene was gruesome. Ashley had been brutally stabbed nearly 50 times. Her unalivement would later be tied to a man known as the Hollywood Ripper, Michael Gargiulo, a serial unaliver who stalked and unalived women across California. But something about Ashton's behavior that night has never sat right with fans. And now, more than 2 decades later, explosive new information has surfaced that points to a potential cover-up. Fast forward to 2019, and Ashton Kutcher found himself back in the spotlight, not for his acting career, but as a key witness in the trial of Michael Gargiulo. Kutcher testified that he was freaking out after hearing about Ashley's death, especially since his fingerprints were all over her front door.
Kutcher told the jury when he eventually learned that Ashley had been murdered, he, quote, freaked out, knowing his fingerprints were on her door.
He claimed to have innocently thought the red stains on the carpet were from spilled wine, but fans couldn't help but raise eyebrows at his nonchalant response to seeing what was later revealed to be blood. Some even went as far as to question whether Ashton knew more than he let on. In any case, Chrissy also sent a message to Mila, writing, "I pray you begin to process what you experienced as a child on that set. Your old interviews are very telling," she wrote. In addition to this, Chrissy also posted a ton of old clips that show Ashton and his wife, Mila Kunis, interacting together, as well as one of Mila and Danny that certainly feels icky. One of the clips is from when Hilary Duff appeared on Kutcher's show Punk'd. The weird part of this clip comes as he introduced the child star who was 15 at the time, Ashton said.
And she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18.
In another clip, she posted Ashton and Mila talking about the first time they met and how they first kissed on set. Then there is the case of Daveigh Chase. For context, Daveigh Chase, born in 1990 in Las Vegas and raised in Oregon, began performing at age 3. By 7, she'd starred in a Campbell's Soup commercial and landed a theater role. Her breakout came in 2002 as the voice of Lilo in Lilo and Stitch, a Disney hit that made her a household name. That same year, she terrified audiences as Samara in The Ring, earning an MTV Movie Award. She also voiced Chihiro in the Oscar-winning Spirited Away. But by her late teens, Daveigh faded from the spotlight, sparking speculation about the pressures and darker truths behind her Hollywood childhood. You see, back in 2003, Daveigh was invited to one of Diddy's legendary after-parties. In fact, a resurfaced video clip of the incident has recently gone viral amid the mounting charges of SA and abuse against him, giving the rapper a fresh headache. In the 2003 clip, Sean Diddy, the embattled rapper, can be seen inviting a then 12-year-old child actress Daveigh Chase to an MTV after-party. The video, which is now circulating widely on social media, is now raising eyebrows as the rapper and businessman awaits trials on charges of ST-ficking and racketeering. In the disturbing clip, the 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs can be seen approaching the then 12-year-old The Ring actress backstage at the 2003 MTV Movie Awards. He is seen chatting with Daveigh Chase and asks if she's coming to the after-party tonight as he holds a drink near his mouth. However, it remains unclear whether Chase attended the party or not. According to Page 6, Combs and the girl seemingly met earlier in the night when he and a then 25-year-old Ashton Kutcher presented her with the Best Villain Award for her role as Samara in the horror film The Ring. While accepting her award, Ashton Kutcher hovered over her, telling her she was doing so good, and gently rubbed her shoulder.
So good, you're doing.
Anyway, as if that's not bad enough, there is Ashton's former girlfriend, Brittany Murphy, who lost her life in a very weird way. Brittany Murphy and Ashton Kutcher started dating after meeting on the set of Just Married. They only ended up dating for 5 months, but they apparently wore matching rings at one point, making many believe they were briefly engaged. On December 20th, 2009, Hollywood was rocked by the devastating news of Brittany Murphy's death. The actress, best known for her roles in Clueless and 8 Mile, was only 32 years old when she passed away suddenly in her Hollywood Hills home. Brittany had reportedly been feeling unwell for several days, with flu-like symptoms that had her weak and struggling to recover. Early that morning, she collapsed in the bathroom. Her mother, Sharon Murphy, who lived with Brittany and her husband, Simon Monjack, made the frantic 911 call. Despite efforts to save her, Brittany was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center.
Hollywood is mourning the loss of Brittany Murphy this morning. The 32-year-old actress died on Sunday from what officials say appear to be natural causes.
The official cause of death was listed as pneumonia, anemia, and a combination of prescription and over-the-counter medications, including cold medicine and painkillers. While there were no illegal drugs found in her system, her passing shocked fans and sparked a wave of speculation. How could a young, vibrant woman fall so ill so quickly? Brittany's sudden death left many unanswered questions and cast a shadow over the glamorous life she seemed to lead. Brittany's home, a sprawling 10,000-square-foot mansion nestled in the Hollywood Hills, became central to the intrigue surrounding her death. The house itself had an unusual backstory. Brittany purchased it in 2003 for $3.85 million from none other than Britney Spears, who reportedly sold the property because of unsettling experiences. Brittany later claimed she felt a strange, dark presence in the home, even suggesting it might be haunted. This eerie reputation would only grow after Brittany's tragic passing. Despite its luxury and breathtaking views, Brittany reportedly hated living there. According to Simon Monjack, she often referred to the property as unlucky and would beg to stay elsewhere, even suggesting they move to the Beverly Hills Hotel temporarily. But Simon, trying to be practical, would remind her that they had a beautiful home and couldn't just leave. Sadly, this home Brittany wanted to avoid became the place where her life ended. Adding to the house's mysterious aura was speculation about its potential role in Brittany's death. Some wondered if environmental factors like toxic mold could have contributed to her illness. In fact, Brittany's mother, Sharon, later claimed there were issues with mold in the home. However, the coroner's office dismissed this theory in 2010, stating there was no evidence linking mold to her death. Still, whispers of something sinister in the house persisted. The haunting rumors weren't limited to Brittany's death. Britney Spears' former makeup artist once revealed on a podcast that Britney had experienced frightening encounters while living there. She even blamed a Reiki healing session for opening a spirit portal that allegedly unleashed bad energy. These unsettling stories only deepened the sense that the house held more than just memories. It held secrets. If Britney's death wasn't shocking enough, the story took an even darker turn just 5 months later. On May 23, 2010, her husband, Simon Monjack, was found dead in the same home.
Hollywood mystery. The husband of actress Brittany Murphy has been found dead just 5 months after her own passing.
Like Brittany, Simon died of acute pneumonia and severe anemia. His death mirrored hers so closely that it reignited speculation about the house, their lifestyle, and whether more was at play than met the eye. Simon, a British screenwriter, had been a controversial figure even before Britney's death. Many of her friends and fans were skeptical of their relationship, with some accusing him of controlling her career and personal life. After Britney passed, Simon faced criticism for how he handled her legacy, but his own health was deteriorating during this time. His mother, Linda Monjack, later revealed that Simon had experienced hallucinations and strange symptoms before his death, which she blamed on mold in the house. Despite these claims, authorities again ruled out environmental factors, sticking to the conclusion that Simon's death, like Britney's, was the result of pneumonia. If Christina Ricci hadn't spoken up, maybe all of this would have stayed buried. But now the pieces are falling into place. Kutcher's public support of a convicted P-dater, his disturbing on-camera moments, and his deep ties to Diddy's inner circle. It's not just one clip or one case. It's a pattern that spans years. And as the Masterson fallout continues and Diddy's empire collapses, Ashton Kutcher's name keeps coming up. Christina Ricci's message was simple. People who discredit victims should be considered criminals. And based on everything that's come out, Ashton Kutcher may no longer be seen as the nice guy from TV. He may be seen as someone who's been protected for far too long. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.